Hey guys, it's Ross going on the Space Couch. Today I'm going to be reviewing this, Dave vs. the Monsters Resistance by John Birmingham. This is book 2 of the Dave Hoop trilogy. Now, the various demon hordes are starting to pop up all across the planet. China, where they actually get nuked by the Chinese, Mongolia, Afghanistan, Britain, and a place called Butt Crack, Georgia. Now, Dave, who's recovering from the Battle of New Orleans, he's spending his time in Las Vegas in one of the high-end suites. Everybody wants a piece of Dave, you know. Everyone wants him to, like sponsorship deals, all that sort of thing, film rights, all of that. So he's a national hero, so why not coin in on it a bit? However, his ex-wife and her lawyer, that's what they think he's going to be doing, so they're trying to sue him for everything that he hasn't yet got, basically. So he gets his own lawyer to sort out all of his, like, tax affairs, everything like that, the divorce, alimony, everything, you know. So he can just, like, do what he likes, you know, play with his splitting maul. Now, as it turns out, the demons that have been cropping up, they're no match for human technology, and even one of our smaller armies would be able to defeat them. However, they're still very dangerous, of course, as any demon and orc horde would be. What they've started doing is snatching people and taking them back into the underworld, you know. Mostly for the blood pots, I expect. Certainly lots of the people do get eaten. However, it's not just for food that they're taking them. Some of the horde believe that if one of the Thresh, which is one of the demon races, can ingest the thinkings of one of the calflings, i.e. eat its brain while it human is still alive, that they'll learn more about them, you know, the weaknesses, all that sort of thing, what drives our society. So that is what happens. However, the brains that the Thresh ends up eating, the first one belongs to a donut salesman. And the second one is to some gangbanger street kid. So everything that the Thresh is saying, I mean, we would recognise it as street slang, but the demon horde, when he's talking about, like, yo mama, you know, they're just wondering, what on earth is he doing? We should just kill him for his impertinence. Now, there's multiple different hordes and clans and demon races in the underworld, and they all hate each other, basically. Now, hoping that maybe humans can drive a wedge between some of them, play them off against each other, Professor Compton, and he's that asshole working for the military and the government who's always trying to get Dave to do things that he doesn't want to do, he convinces or forces Dave to attend some truce talks in Omaha, Nebraska, where there's the demon horde camped outside the city just waiting to attack, but they say, we want to speak to Dave. In this instance, the particular race is the Jinn, you know, like the genies of old, that race. They've also set loose a plague of zombies in the meantime, just to keep their arm in, you know, that sort of thing. Now, obviously, any sort of meeting like this is going to be a trap, and it is. While Dave's talking to the Jinn, another part of the horde invades the compound, the military compound, where they're going to be directing all of the battles, and people get kidnapped, eaten, and killed. It's totally overrun. By the time Dave gets back, killing some Jinn along the way, of course, he wants to rescue the women who've been kidnapped. But he said, no, you must rescue Compton, he's more important. Do as we tell you. You know what's going to happen. He ignores that order and saves the women instead. Everybody's pissed at Dave because of this. I mean, yeah, he saved the women, but Compton was one of their most valuable assets, you know. He knows all the structures of the army, what sort of orders they get, military history and everything. How humans will react in any given situation, all that sort of thing. So Thresh ingests Compton's brains. Oh, of course he does. And suddenly they realise there is a way to bring humanity to its knees and then into the blood pots. Right, so because Dave's disobeyed orders, people have gotten killed and everybody's really mad and disappointed at him, he turns to someone else. There was another guy, government agent, who was sniffing around at the start of this book, wanting him to do things, and David brushed him off, but now he thinks, I'm going to do this, they don't want me here, I'll go where I'm wanted. Now, he's sent to catch a Russian spy in New York, and she's masquerading as an art dealer. Just as they were about to swoop in and pick her up at the start of the novel, you know, bust up the spy ring, there was a demon attack at the art gallery. And she now has Dave-like powers. She killed one of the demons with an ancient Japanese katana sword, you know, kind of like how Dave killed the orc with his splitting maul. She has also absorbed all the knowledge of that particular race, and they realise, because there are 12 of these demon races, there must be 12 guardians, I guess, as it were, champions of humanity. Now, after the obligatory attempts to kill each other, of course, they decide we should probably join forces, you know. 2 of us is better than 1 of us, especially as there's no one else understands us. And let's find those others as well if they're out there. So they agree to meet in an hour, settle a couple of bits and pieces in the meantime, but before they can, New York is overwhelmed by demons, boiling up out of nowhere. And that's where the book ends. Book 3 is out soon, and that one is going to be called Ascendants, I believe. I will be picking it up when I see it and having a good old read of it. It's been a really fun trilogy so far. It does what it says on the tin. It's very easy reading. That was just my review of Dave vs. the Monsters Book 2 by John Birmingham. Why don't you leave me a comment or a suggestion for an upcoming book you'd like to see reviewed, like the video or subscribe to my channel.